Shut up, Aliyah. Just shut up. I don't care. We never talked about family. See? So, it's fair, alright? He knows mine is on Uharo. I know he's from Kua. I didn't know about Aisha, but he doesn't know about you. So shut up, just shut up. We're gonna find her. And we're gonna help her. Just keep your cool, pig. Keep your cool. We'll find Aisha, then we'll find out what's wrong with her. Yeah. If she's got something, if she's got this sickness, this could be just what we've been waiting for. Yeah, this could be a stroke of luck. You know, I've been waiting to put someone like her on my... No, shut up. Keep your cool. Carlo's your buddy. If he didn't want us to know, that's his call. His sister is off limits. For now.
This is Red Moon Roleplaying.
Oh crap, that's the deadbolt.
I kind of wince a little. I really try outwardly not to show injury, again for the cameras, sort of swearing under my breath saying, "God damn student, Dom, you son of a..."
I look at you, incredulous that you weren't able to do this. And I feel the door as I feel the deadbolts going in. And I'm like, okay, so that's out of the question. How do we get in here?
I sort of turn away, sigh a little. Would there be any windows?
Yeah. At the other side, you have to go out, or you can do a climb from the common room or the kitchen, but then you have to pass 4, maybe 5 student dorms.
Yes. Okay, Carlo will leave the door, lean against the wall, saying, "Oh well, I guess no one's home. Come on, Pig." Start leading Pig along.
Wait a second, can't we talk to someone here? Maybe someone knows her and maybe she passed an extra key to someone. Maybe she's got a friend in the corridor. That one that was looking out, she seemed to care.
I say to Pig, clearly a little annoyed at myself, that could be a good idea. All right, let's go and knock on that door. And again, I just give that lock a look and really wish I could pull out my gun and shoot it, but of course that would draw too much of a scene.
There's someone emerging from the kitchen, and it's quite old. He looks too old to be a student. Maybe he's writing a PhD or something because he's in his 30. Hello there. Who are you? What are you doing here?
Ah, man, would you believe it? It's a funny story, but do you know what was her name again? Aisha. Aisha, do you know an Aisha?
Yeah.
Well, this is a bit awkward, but I mean, I lean over. I left some of my stuff in her room, if you get what I mean. And it's really important for, like, some of my, I've got a paper due in, but she's not in. Do you know where she is? I need to get this paper, man. Oh.
And I'm folding my arms. I'm like, so embarrassing.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people leaving Aisha's room. Is she's working with something at the side? He's looking quite uncomfortable. What? I cannot really help you with the door.
Do you know anyone who, like, knows her around here? Then a friend, like maybe someone she gave a spare key to? Look, I know what you're thinking. Very suspicious, but honestly, I just need to... I need this, man. It's really embarrassing. Like, I mean, you know, I wasn't expecting when we hooked up for this sort of thing to happen. I sort of to give it a laugh, but you know how it is sometimes. You go someone's place, you leave things there.
I bite my lip.
You can try a manipulation roll.
Yes. Nope. No successes.
Nah, I cannot really get into this. It's been some Coriolis Guardian here earlier this week. I cannot. You have to leave. I don't want to get part of this. I have to report this to the deacon.
What? Why do you have to report it to the deacon, man? Do you, every time you go and see a girl, expect the person next door to report you to the deacon?
Yeah, but it's been guards here. Guards looking through the corridor, and as well as this room. You have to leave. Sorry. He seems really nervous. He's sweating. Doesn't seem comfortable with this situation at all. Maybe he's afraid.
I look around for a moment. Where are we?
In the corridor.
We're in the corridor. Did he come out? He's just walking along, is he?
No, he came out from the kitchen. And if you smell, he's smelling a bit of alcohol, actually. He could be some of a student that has no scholarship left, and he's doing some work in the block to finance his final degree.
He's watching the corridors.
Yeah.
Keep in order.
That makes sense. Okay. I give Pig a little look. I think to myself that this could go very bad very quickly, but honestly, we do not have time. I go over very quickly to the guy and say, "Look, buddy, you're overreacting." And I just sort of let him see the Vulcan cricket at my side and go, "Dude, think about it. Do you really want to go and talk to the deacon now? Or would you rather just keep going and have a nice rest of your day?"
Maybe another drink.
Okay.
Nice one. Thank you.
You have five. Then I'm calling the deacon, and I will take contact with the guards. You have 5, okay? He's really nervous.
Just get out of here.
And as he sort of potters off, I go, "Wonderful, Pig. Well, we've got 5 minutes."
Well, that was great. What are we gonna do? I walk over to the door and examine it. Is there any chance that I could pick apart this lock with my tools?
Not in 5 minutes. If you have some kind of a plasma cutter or something with you.
No.
Well, I had it on the Ghazali, but that was ages ago.
But you can also shoot the lock.
And have Coriolian guards here in moments. No, it's at this point, while I'm in a little bit of a panic, I will just go and knock on that door of the person who was watching.
You press the call button. You see a vid of a. She have to be a first-year student. She looks really nervous, smoking.
Yeah.
Hey, funny thing, you don't know the person who lives over there, do you? Pointing at Aisha's place.
Yeah, that's Aisha, right?
Yeah. Look, funny thing.
I didn't steal it, I found it. If you want to buy it. I didn't know it was hers.
I'd love to buy it. Let's have a look. Come on. Can we come in?
I can show it to you in the camera.
She holds up a communicator.
Wonderful. So, young lady, I'll be honest with you. This is my sister we're talking about here. I'm concerned about what's going on with her. You want to help a guy out?
Okay, I'm selling it for, like I said in the ad, 150 burr.
I squint at this woman and I go, "Sure thing. How did you get it again?"
I found it, right? I found it in the student park. I didn't know it was Aisha's. I realized it when I started to look through it, but I already put out the ad at the internet.
Yeah.
I quietly say to Carlo, well, that's cheaper than a communicator at the market.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, anything that could help. Anything that could help. Sure, you pack a hard bargain, lady, but you got me. And I'll very quickly hand over 150 burr to get this communicator.
Yeah. She opened a box and you're putting down the 150 burr, and she's taking the box, and then it takes out the communicator.
Yeah. And you didn't get it from me, right?
Oh, I didn't get it from you.
Of course.
Okay. Bye now.
I look down at this communicator. I look at Pig. I look at that goddamn door lock. I highly resist the urge to shoot it repeatedly, and I say, all right, Pig, time to go.
Yeah, let's go.
You leave the floor, and you're at the entrance hall again.
Yes, and from the entrance hall I will then leave the building.
Yeah.
Even though I'm quite hopeful that our friend upstairs isn't the sort to bravely now suddenly come down and give our details if we're not here anymore. I still think, unfortunately, we've done all we can here. I can't believe I couldn't get that goddamn door open. I'm clearly not thinking straight.
That was weird. Didn't seem like a tough lock to me.
Well, sometimes, Pig, locks are harder than they seem. Also, it's an old building. Also, shut up. You goddamn Pig, you. My insult seems very half-hearted at the end there, especially.
Yeah, and I just smirk to myself. It's fun. This feels like, getting out on adventures again.
When we're outside, I'll take a look around, see if there's a little private area we can sort of dart into, like a little nook or alleyway or something, and then I'm going to investigate this communicator.
Yeah. You are maybe entering the student park. It's not so obvious if you're sitting on a bench there and looking for a communicator as if you're standing outside the student blocks. And here you have some artificial birds, you have some fountains, and you have some actually students that are studying for essays or different exams.
That will do. I'll start looking over this communicator. I'm really hoping that if it's her communicator, there's going to be something on it. Otherwise, this entire journey was a massive waste of time.
Yeah, you see them flicking through the communicator, and it's not... You think that someone has erased a lot of information from the communicator, and you realize it's just a conversation, a quick conversation saved on the communicator, and as well some calls between a communicator called Aram or Aram, and you can see that Aram has tried to reach this communicator a lot lately.
Wonderful. I smile a little to Pig, saying, all right, I don't know if we're going to get any new information, but we might have something that can actually contact you-know-who. And at this point, I will try and use it to contact this Aram.
But before you do that, there's a message between Aisha and Aram, and that tells that they had plans to meet at a cantina at the Ozone Square called Al Said's Oporia, and the date match up with the Althea story.
Right, and that's still... When's that happening, or has it already happened?
It happened a week ago.
Right.
I'm looking over your shoulder as you're scrolling through this information, and I point that, yeah, that's the date. Maybe it wasn't actually him. Maybe she was... it could be either that she was taken by someone, or it could be that this Aram just sort of took her to safety.
Maybe. After the date, are there attempts to call the communicator?
No. All the calls from Aram is the same day they were planning to have the meetup, and it's about 4 or 5 calls from Aram that is unanswered by this communicator. You also realize that this communicator has an application that erases data after 2 weeks usage. So every 2 weeks it erases all the data. And you have come across, it's quite common for drug dealers and different persons that don't want to leave a digital trace to have this kind of devices installed at the communicators. They probably have a real communicator that they use for texting family and so on and so forth, but this is a second communicator that is used for more cloak and dagger mischief.
Makes sense. I will communicate with this Aram. See what happens.
How will you communicate? Do you by text message or by calling?
Text message. I shall text. We need to meet.
Do you try to how do you say, impersonate Aisha here?
No. I shall say anonymous.
Okay. You're texting we need to meet. And in a couple of minutes you get an answer. Who is this?
A friend of Aisha's.
It takes a while and then it answers. Do you know where Aisha is?
No. Was hoping you did.
How do I know I can trust you?
I see this and I watch over his shoulder. You could mention Althea. Althea, she wants to meet the Ram as well, right?
That's true. I will mention this. I shall say Althea
Is safe.
is safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank the icon. You can bring Althea to the Ozone Square, the Oporia. She knows where it is.
We shall. When? Ideally soon.
Next watch? Question mark.
Yes. I shall send that, and I'll say, all right then. Sounds genuine, or a trap. We'll find out when we get there, I guess. For now, let's get out of here, pick up Althea, and meet the mysterious Aram. Maybe he can be more useful than this little endeavor was.
Yeah, that sounds good. Well, that's good. And Althea's going there anyway, so we'll just gotta get there ourselves. Right?
Yes.
Okay, so you're closing down the message, and next watch is in 1.5 hours.
Can we be at the location in that time?
Yeah, it's in the Ozone Square. You have to leave the core and go to the ring again.
That's...
You know for sure that the Ozone Square is it's a hub for legionnaires, and there's a lot of gun trading going on, and there are a lot of trading with cybernetics and technical devices for field use.
Good. We shall head there. I will give Pig a pat on the back and say, right then, onwards we go. What a wonderful day this is turning out to be.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's progress, right? Farouq is safe and well, too bad that he didn't know where your sister is, I guess.
No, but it's something. Let's go and finally get a move on. And with that, I will lead Pig on, leaving the student quarter.
You're starting to leave the student quarter and starting to head for the tube, I reckon. Then you notice that the man who you talked with in the corridor comes towards you. He's running, catching his breath. Wait! You there!
And I turn around and look at him.
Yes, I'll stop and frown a little, and I'll be like, yeah?
You! I have to talk with you.
What is it?
I go over and I say, why? You've already been unhelpful, buddy. We're going. Don't worry.
I talked with Mimi, the one who sold you the communicator.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And she said that you were looking for your sister?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes.
That I chased your sister?
I sort of look a little resigned and say, yes.
Sorry, I didn't realize. I thought that you were... You were with them. And he's leaning forward.
Oh, you mean this fake guards?
Yeah, they're fake, right? Aren't they? Because I'm studying law, we're in the law quarters, and they were not following the standard procedures for doing the search. They are definitely not Corolian guards.
Aren't you a little bit old to be a student?
He's looking really embarrassed. Yeah. He scratches his neck. I'm not maybe a top A student. I have to redo a lot of my thesis, and funding stopped, and I have to do some work here at campus.
I cross my arms as he's rambling on, and I'm like, how do we know we can trust you? How do you know her? How do we know you're not working with them?
You can't, but I have to tell you that I was moved by the story about Aisha is missing, and she was really nice to all of us in the corridor, and she was even nice to me. A lot of students make fun of me because I didn't pass my thesis, and I think it's really it's sad that she's gone, and I'm worried about her.
Well, we all are. She was always the empathetic one. I do look a little sympathetic to this man at this point. I'll lean over and go, look, we need to go, but what can you tell us? We already know that some people, it sounds, have checked out her place, yes?
Yeah, they've been here twice.
Did you see them take her?
No, I haven't. But I can tell you that these guards, they are clean shaven. They look like you. He points at Pig. No eyebrows, no beard, no mustache.
Really?
They have on the visor. I saw that they are using some kind of sacral painting around their eyes.
That's interesting.
It's not common for the Corolian Guard. The Corolian Guard should not be affiliated with deep iconic faith.
That's weird. What is that? Is that like some kind of? Do you know what that means? Do you know what they look like? I mean, who dresses like that?
I study law. I don't know. Talk with the philosophers or the humanities section. I don't know, but I know that Corolian Guard shouldn't have shouldn't be affiliated with deep religious iconic cults or other formal gatherings.
Alright, well, thanks for that. Just go back to your dorm and, just get on with your life for now. Don't do anything stupid. Thank you, though.
Yeah.
I doubt I would, no, but does any of that sound a little people with stuff around the eyes? No beards.
Do you have culture? You didn't, right?
I don't.
But you can roll a plain wits.
Just a plain wits.
I bet it's some kind of weird religious cult thing. Someone obsessed about this, the mystical powers. Maybe it's like I don't know, some weird, I don't know, circle of seekers.
So I got 1 success.
1 success. It's not common where you're from. Clean shaved. You know that some religious cults, some zealots, use some acid to remove all of their body hair to pay respect to the icons, but you cannot really remember. You didn't follow these lessons when you were a kid.
No, but it does seem interesting. All right, I will sigh a little, bid this fellow farewell, and say to Pig, come on, let's go. Something to maybe keep an eye out for in the future.
Yeah. Danya.
He's standing, waiting, putting his hands in his pockets, and here, he gives you a clearance card, access card. Here's the key. Take it.
This is the key to her room.
Yeah, take it.
How do you have this? Is this a hall monitor type thing?
As I said, I've been doing some work at the campus. I got this key. I got keys to all the dorms. Don't make me regret this, okay? This is I just coded this key for her room. Don't make me regret this. All right? I won't be at the corridor for a half an hour. I'm going down buy some food at the Seeker's Circle. Okay?
That sounds like a great idea. I do check my datapad. Do we have time to go back and then still make the rendezvous?
No, you have to choose.
Well, that's pretty Akbar. I'll look after him as he goes. So, do we have time to do this?
We don't. No, it's gonna have to... I look a bit regretful as I look at this card and just pocket it and go, no, we don't have time.
Well, let's make the meet then, and then maybe we can come back if we run out of clues. At least we'll know Altea might be safe, and see if this Aram has anything else to say to us about this.
I agree. We've got to stay focused. And I will pocket the data card and continue our journey. I've decided we don't have time to investigate, even though I would like to, for personal reasons.
You're heading to the tube. There are 2 different ways to go to the Ozone Square. Either you take the big tube, or... it's 3 ways. You can go with the shuttle as well. Actually, with the shuttle, you can do the room search as well and make it to the rendezvous.
How much is the shuttle?
It should go for like 100 beer.
Per person?
No.
You know what?
A ride.
Oh, okay.
I sort of pause for a moment and I go, oh, money at the end of the day isn't important. Not really. Come on, Pig, let's go back. If we take the shuttle, we should be able to still make it.
Oh, okay, that's great. But, are you paying for that?
I'm paying for it, Pig, don't worry.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
And yes, I will make a note of that and quickly start heading back.
Yeah?
Yes.
You're more or less running towards the law quarters again?
Well, yes, but running in a way that doesn't look like, oh look, those people are running.
And you go through the entrance hall and go up to the corridor as well. And with the access card, you access the room 48.
Access granted.
I give the lock a little bit of a look as I break it, and I nod to it like, beat me once, can't beat me twice.
Yeah.
And you're entering a small dorm with a desk, a bed, an awful painting of, you think it's a mosaic of the... you cannot even tell. And a wardrobe with some everyday clothing.
Wonderful. I will immediately begin trying to investigate, ideally focusing, of course, on areas like drawers, nothing in the kitchen or a living room area, but anything in like a bed area wardrobes, that sort of thing. I like, go on, pig. Eyes,
Yeah,
alert.
yeah.
See if you can find anything that looks interesting.
I start looking around for stuff as well. Sort of trying to cover the sides of the room that he isn't getting to. Anything sort of folded between clothes in the wardrobe. Anything in any drawers.
When you're going through the drawers, you find a pamphlet from, you think it's the Samaritans?
Samaritans?
As big as your palm, maybe?
Huh.
And it's got the insignia of the Samaritans. And it got a text that says, "Do you have nightmares? Does strange things appear around you? Do you see things you shouldn't be seeing? Do you have daydreams? Then you might have the sickness." People say that there is no cure, but at the Samaritans, we can help you. We can also help your friend. Come talk to us. You can be completely anonymous.
And I have a little bit of a flashback to the episode on the Ghazali with the Samaritan there who was so desperately wanting to heal everyone and walking tirelessly from person to person, looking over them, and then going completely bonkers when he had a discussion with Farouq about something. And Farouq, having met with a woman that he didn't admit to, yeah, there was something weird about that too, when I think back on that.
Yeah?
I wonder if it's either one of these sides that are trying to do something here with these people. And I'm also starting to think like, ooh, well, I have daydreams. Maybe I got the sickness too. And I say this to Carlo. There's a pamphlet here from the Samaritans. I don't know if she didn't find help anywhere else. Maybe she turned to them.
Maybe, I say, although I don't sound entirely convinced, as I myself am doing a more thorough search of those. Searching around the bed, searching around the drawers, anything that could be concealing something around there.
I'm looking in the wardrobe, sort of under clothes and stuff, see if she's hidden anything in there.
I can say that Carlo, you find nothing out of the ordinary. Some literature under the bed. But then you find a book that is under the classical course literature. It's called The Forbidden Scripture of the Al-Asura. And you don't have culture, you don't know what this is?
No.
But the word forbidden catch your eyes?
Of course. I mean, I'll just sort of look it through. Is it some sort of just student book or a pamphlet or something?
No, it's actually a printed book, and it's written in verse, of course, and it's quite thick, around 300 pages.
It's a bit weird, isn't it?
It's a physical book, and it's quite uncommon because everything more or less is on tablets.
I was going to say, that does strike me as a bit strange, doesn't it? I suppose I'll put it away for now. I look at the time, and I think we don't have time to completely keep searching, and also the place probably has been checked twice, apparently. But I have one last look. I haven't seen my sister for a long time, but she's my sister. Where did she used to like hiding things when we were kids?
You can roll an empathy roll.
Straight up just empathy?
Yeah, if you remember playing when you were kids.
I do not.
You don't remember?
Nothing that springs to mind as I look around.
You remember how you teased her, but you don't remember where she used to hide out when you did it. Pig, when you're looking for the wardrobe, you can...
Yes.
You see directly that someone has looked through the wardrobe as well. Because when you open it, heaps of clothes is pouring out of the wardrobe. Someone has looked through it and just pushed it in and then closed the door.
What a mess, I say. Now look around. Is there any photographs or anything like that around the room?
No, actually it's not.
No frames.
No frames.
Well, I look. Is there a carpet or something?
Yeah, it is. It is.
I look under the carpet.
Yeah. You flip the carpet, and it's a quite cheap carpet, probably bought at the Ozone Square. And you realize that when you flip the carpet, you see that there's a loose floor plate.
Oh, I don't say anything. I am too curious myself, so I see if I can open it with my hands, or with a tool, perhaps.
Yeah, you need a quite long, nimble object,
Okay.
so you can press up the floor plate.
Well, I bring out a screwdriver,
Yeah, that could work.
and now you probably noticed that I'm doing something.
I will notice you getting a screwdriver out, look over, and notice that something's happening, and move over to Pig and say, what you doing?
This seems to be loose here, and I push it down and try to wedge it up.
Yeah, and you manage to wedge it up, and in the hidden compartment, you find another printed book. It looks really old.
Huh. A book?
It's very thick. It looks like it's ready to fall apart.
I smell it.
It smells like mole.
Wow, this is some really old stuff. Gotta be careful with this. Does it have a title?
The cover of the book is so wear down and so worn out, so the letters are, it's quite hard to read, but it says something about gardening for the spirit, maybe?
Gardening for the spirit. Well, she's... I'm sorry, yeah, I shouldn't make fun if she's having these problems, man, but, yeah, it seems like she's, pretty caught up in the spiritual stuff. And I sort of hand it over to him, and I look through the rest of the compartment.
I mean, I'll flip through it again, but I'm just looking around the apartment.
Do you open the book?
Yes, I do open it.
Yeah. When you open, you realize that it's been a compartment being carved out in the book as well.
Ah.
So she have carved out in the middle of the book the pages, and there it lies a small data tablet.
Gin, Pig. Look at this. Exactly what we were looking for. Come on, but let's get out of here for now. I look at the time again and go, come on.
Yeah, I'll feel through the compartment. Is there anything left in there?
No.
Okay, so, yeah, great. And I close it, and I fold the carpet over it again. And then I just leave the wardrobe as messy as that was. Not gonna bother with that.
Yeah. And you realize that you've been here for at least 20 minutes?
Yes, so that's why we're now heading out, and not going to look at anything till we get to the shuttle, because I want to catch it in time.
Yeah, it's private shuttles, so you just go into the outer wall of the core, and then you're entering a private shuttle, and then you have to pay for the drive over.
100 beer.
Yeah, and the driver says, welcome, Saibs, welcome. And he shows you to a quite spacious shuttle where you're sitting in a divan. Where are you heading, sir? To the nets or to the
Ocean Plaza.
The Ozone Square?
Ozone Square, yes, sorry, that's right. I kind of looked very distracted, mainly sighing as I saw my 100 beer leave my account. And I've just gone to sit at the back, and then I'm sort of looking at Pig, like, come on, Pig, handle this.
And he's talking about everything's going down in the bids, and he's a blabbermouth.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna just give him short interjections like Abzo, nah, Dabra. Okay. Yeah.
And he seems content with that. He's not looking into a deeper conversation.
Wonderful. As Pig handles the situation oh so well, I will now get out this data tablet and start investigating. What could I do with it?
It seems like it has two purposes. One purpose of this data tablet is it holds a financial backup somewhere in the internet, so you can find that there's 2,000 Burr in credits on this data tablet. And you also find that another thing that is on this data tablet, there are notes, like a diary.
Excellent. I'm going to start, first of all, connecting this to my security tablet. I hook them up so I can start making a copy of all the information, and as I'm doing that, I would like to access this diary and look at the latest entries.
The latest entries says that Aisha, is going to meet with Aram at the Oporia. And she's describing Aram as this really nice person that has been so helpful to her, and her talks about her, what she's calling it the sickness. And he's been so understanding, and they had long conversations. As this last entry, she is referring to, as I said before, when we met in the student garden, he was so nice to me, and he was talking about how I should endure this.
I frown a little as I'm reading all this. In all my rush to get things sorted quickly, I haven't actually been paying too much attention to the fact that she has this, as she calls it, a sickness. Still, keep focused. What do I gather from maybe entries going back a bit? That's the latest ones. I start scrolling back a bit.
If you're going through the last couple of weeks, you find that she's really afraid. She's talking about bald people with no facial hair or hair at all stalking her when she's leaving lectures. She is mentioning that they are using coal.
As in the makeup stuff?
Yeah. Coal around her eyes, and with no facial hair or no hair at all, stalking her. She's really afraid. And a couple of notes back, she said that my last visit to the sanatorium was so good. They were talking about how I could develop even more if I should allow myself to let go and be with them for a couple of months. They could cure me.
I frown a lot at that. As I'm reading all this, I'm not relaying it to Pig word for word, but after a while I will say, all right. My sister trusted Aram. She's been followed for some time, and she has been dealing with some issues regarding this problem she has.
Yeah. Okay. So does it say that they actually met up and stuff?
Yes. She's been meeting up with this Aram fellow a few times. He seems nice and understanding of the issue. She's also been stalked by the men with the makeup around the eyes and the no facial hair, which I say as I scratch my own neatly groomed beard. And, well, it all seems to check out, I suppose. I probably shouldn't read any more for now. I will put it away, letting it finish downloading all to my own tablet. Have I got any new messages?
No, you haven't. One thing, though, you realize when you are reading through her notes that she is uncertain if these persons stalking her are real, if they're just phantasmagorias of her delusional mind, as she's calling it.
I don't know if my sister...
Because no one else seems to have seen them.
It's a bit curious, this. I mean, it seems like, from what you're saying, that either these people, whoever they are, they snatched her, or I mean, if we're gonna trust Aram, because he doesn't know where she is. So the question is if we actually got to see her that day, then we're gonna meet up, or if they took her before that.
I guess we'll have to find out, and at this I close the computer screens, frowning even more at that last thing I realised.
But do you trust Aram? Do you think he's someone we can trust? Do you think he's on the right side, so he's not like been lulling her into some sort of fake sense of security?
Well, the last time I checked, Pig, my sister wasn't a fool. She was perhaps a bit too empathetic with people. Didn't really go down well with my father. I then paused for a moment. Of course, he's gone now, so that's not a problem. But
Okay.
whatever. I seem a little conflicted suddenly, and I just put the things away and sort of just go silent as I'm just waiting for the shuttle to arrive.
And I nod to myself, thinking that, yeah, if she's empathetic, then maybe he did fool her somehow. I wonder if what he wants to do with Althea. I suppose if we bring her there, we will see what the truth is.
You dock with the outer ring, and you are leaving the shuttle and entering the Ocean Square. Now you regain connection again from the Corolian internet, and you get a message from Althea. Are we supposed to meet? How's it going?
I will directly communicate with her and say, Althea, we're meeting Aram. It's all been organised. Just be here, and I'll send her the location we're going to soon as possible.
I'm heading there right now. I'm there in 5 minutes.
Wonderful, and I will begin quickly making my own way to the rendezvous point. I will look to Pig at this stage and just say, just be aware and be on the lookout, yes, but hopefully this isn't a trap.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Okay. I look around and try to spot Al Said's Soporia somewhere around here on the square.
When you're using your Corolian map application, you realize that you are about 15 minutes away from the Oporia, and that's the fastest route.
Okay. It seems like we're like 15 minutes away, so can you tell her to hold off? Maybe we should scout it out first.
Good point. I shall quickly relay that information to Althea, saying, Althea, maybe hold off just a few minutes. Take your time. We should be there in 15 minutes.
You don't get any answer.
Wonderful. I look to Pig and I say, maybe time to hurry up.
Yeah, okay. And I start to quicken my pace after him.
Yeah. You're hurrying to the location, and the Oporia is in the middle of the Ocean Square. Not in the techno market and not in the weapons market, but quite in the middle of all the cantinas and all the bars. And you're hurrying. You see a lot of legionnaires. You see a lot of different kind of sellers and peddlers, and some street urchins that are running around the streets. And you see at a distance the neon sign Al Said's Oporia, and you're hurrying there. And when you are very close to the Oporia, you see a couple of guardsmen entering.
Are they real guards, or are they the other guards?
You can roll an observation roll, both of you.
Yeah.
One success.
Yeah, no success for me. I squint and I can't make it out.
You cannot see, but Carlo, you see definitely that one of them has a very strong sacral call around his eyes. He looks at you and he enters. As you see the man enters, you realize that Althea is in the Oporia.
Security code 46513 Omega. This is the genie of the courier ship, the Red Moon. Camilla segment, Coriolis Cycles 61. Recording. Analysis of crew members complete. Breakdown of communicator data commencing. Scenes of interests found. High encryption. Security code 173837557. Bendini. Logger commencing. Coriolis cycle 50. Dabaran timeline 3752. After the rain of fire. Segment the decant. System Rigel's outer colonies. Vessel Pythias. Playback commencing.
The last couple of days has been a turmoil. All of your house, all of your family has been killed or sold as slaves to Argonian slave traders. You managed to escape on a shuttle going back to Dabaran. The other colonies for the Dabaranian noble houses has been overthrown by rebels, insurgents, and paramilitara. This shuttle is full of refugees with a mix of different cultures and different ethnicities from all the horizon. But you seems to be the only Dabarani here, and all of these folk has previously been servant people to you or your culture, your noble houses. They have started to stare at you on your fine clothing, your well-polished beard and your long hair. Some of them is whispering something in the shuttle. It should take a couple of hours until you reach the space station. And here, out in the cold, dark space, everything can happen.
I try to pull my cloak a little bit tighter over my clothes to conceal the fact that, well, I'm a bit differently dressed than the rest of the people here. But I don't keep my head down. I try to calmly and kindly meet people's gazes, and if they make eye contact, I nod a little just to show them that we're in this situation together. We're gonna get through it.
Some of them seems pleased that you're taking their point of view and that you're started to feel and act and behave like one of them. But some, a small group of Algolian men, they are glaring, staring at you, and they are whispering to each other, and they are nodding silently.
I stand up and As unthreateningly as I possibly can, I walk over to them. And I smile. A charming smile. At least I hope it is a charming smile. Kind of brace myself for whatever insults they probably will be throwing in my face. And I say, "May the icons shine upon you, gentlemen. Is there anything I can help you with?"
You have no business here, Dabarani. That's your fault. Your people made the colony crumble. Your houses, your plots, your intrigue made it all come down.
I understand that it might appear so to you, but you should not judge a person upon first glance. I too share the same fate as you. I have been a pawn in the games of those who rule, and now I'm sitting here in this shuttle with you.
It may be so. For now, Dabarani. But it may not be so for long.
A man of lesser poise and intellect might actually think that sounds like a threat, but I understand that we're all under distress here, and, well, we need to work together to make the best of this situation.
And how should that transpire, Dabarani? Can you lift heavy? Can you calculate? Can you wield the plasma cutter? Can you drive an exoskeleton to build houses? I think not.
It is quite obvious that the physical labor is not my forte, but I have other skills that can help us in many of the situations which we might happen to find ourselves.
Tell one, please. Tell one.
Don't underestimate the power of a charming smile and a quick tongue.
Stay out of my way, Dabarani. Stay out of my way, and I will stay out of yours. I don't need you, but you will sure need me.
I will, of course, comply. And I wish the Icon's mercy upon us all.
He nods, and they are turning their backs on you, and they're talking in Algolian, and they seem to argue over something. An old man, he looks like could be from the Salo system or Sadal. He places his old, almost leather hand on your shoulders and come with me, Saib. Let's talk. I got a place here. He's pointing at some kind of compartment in the shuttle. Let's have a talk. You think he's hurt in some way? He's limping to this compartment and says, "Sit, Saib, sit."
Are you okay?
That's just old age taking out its toll, I guess. So, you're from Dabaran, right? One of the colonizers.
For a few seconds, I lose my cool, and a wide range of emotions can be seen flickering across my face, but then I'm kind of like snap out of it, and I say, I hail from Dabaran, yes, sir.
Your patois and your grace is deceiving you. I can tell that you have to be schooled in some courtesan way as well.
That is correct.
Then I will give you an advice, Dabarani. The Argolians are arguing however they should throw you out in the airlock or not. The big one over there, the one you talked to, he's called Muska. He hates your kind. And he wants all of Dabaran, all of the houses, all of the culture, that it should be smashed to the ground.
Yes, I understand his point of view, of course. But the intolerance of small men, I don't know what to do.
But if you dare your life, you should take this into consideration. His right hand, Ravas, he is a pragmatic sort. He wants leadership. He wants to control the Algolian group. This group of hands ready to depart for another system to build another colony. But he cannot do this while his leader is in charge, because the leader is full of hatred of the Dabarani culture, and wants and will probably join the insurgents on your recent destroyed homeworld. So, a man trained in the arts of Silver Tongue, could he persuade the second, the right hand, to strike at his master and make this group of Algolian not go back to fight a war they maybe don't need to fight? You understand, right, Saib?
I understand that this situation might be in your interest.
Yeah, it could be, but it's in your interest as well, Saib.
But
do you want
who
to?
am I talking to?
I'm just a simple, what do you call it, consular? Yeah, we can call me a consular. I worked with the major houses in the Dabarani colonies, and as well at Dabaran, the Peacock Lords, as well as the Sand Kings. I worked with them all. I can say that I represent the best interest of Dabarani culture.
I have much love for my home and the people there, of all stature. But I understand that a fire that keeps getting fueled by little men will only ravage our world and destroy what culture we have.
Yes, and that splendid culture shall live for eons. And then we have to use the raw strength of small men to make our work more easy. Do you understand me?
I will have a chat with this Ravas the second.
Yeah. Talk to Ravas, the right hand of the Algolian party. I can distract the leader. Give me a couple of minutes.
No problem.
He rises. He's starting to walk towards another group of Mirani scholars and some kind of science group. And they are talking for a couple of minutes. And then he starts to walk towards the Algolian workers, the Algolian party. But when he's starting to pass them, he's starting to beat his heart and and he falls to the floor. The Algolian who is near him, they rush to help him. And he lies in spasms.
I take that as my cue. I can't help but feel a quick sting of worry that is actually for real. But I pray that this is part of the diversion. And I approach this Ravas as soon as I see that he is alone and approachable.
Ravas stands a few meters from the scene, looking into the chaos that is developing before his eyes. Spit, shit and piss from the old man.
I glide up next to his side and look at the scene in front of us. And I say, do you share the sentiment of your leader?
What of it, Dabarani?
That we can have no use of each other? That we cannot help each other? To get a new start here in life?
How could you help me? I'm not so kind throwing you out of the airlock like my leader, but I don't really see what is my gain helping a Dabarani fugitive.
Well, you just said the word there. Fugitive. I am, just like you. And we have to rely on each other to be able to start a life without negative influences.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not throwing someone out the airlock is the best way to start a new life, a better life. I can help. As I said, there's many hurdles to cross before we reach something called a home. And how well versed are you in bureaucracy and customs and, I don't know, other cultures?
He looks at you and you can tell that he's not into, he hasn't thought this through at all. No, I'm a builder.
Yeah.
Sahib. I build houses. I dig moats. I build cities. I don't know anything about that.
Well, sadly, wherever we end up, they probably won't be taking us with open arms and just letting us into their little world without us jumping through a couple of hoops and talking to the right kind of people. I would, of course, do whatever I can to make sure we get the best start. And maybe a few perks on the way. But I don't know. Violent and petty men, maybe not a good company to keep.
No, of course. You can roll a manipulation roll.
Yes.
You get a +1.
to success.
Yes, of course. We should help each other. But Algolian wants someone to do the spacewalk. And I just figured out who that will be. He glances at his leader, who is on his way helping the poor man that has just had a heart attack. The poor man. His spasm has some way lowered in frequency, but he's still lying on the floor. I need medical aid. The Mirani science party has joined in to help the old man, and Ravas walks to the leader, and the whole group of Algolian starts to leave this room of the shuttle and go downstairs to have a chat. A couple of minutes later, you hear, "You can't do this! I'm the leader!" Then you hear the familiar sound of an airlock closing, and you hear bangs on the bulletproof glass. And then you hear how the outer door opens. And then it closes.
I look at the old man. Try to catch his eyes through the commotion around him.
He blinks. Almost unnoticeable blink at you. You don't really know what it means, but you know that this isn't the last time you will have to have business with this old man.
I smile just a little and bow my head.
End transmission. System QA. Coriolis Space Station. Coriolis Cycle 60. Segment The Faceless One. Playback commencing.
You're at a huge hall in the Coriolis space station, in the spire. You're sitting at a large oak or some Qan wood table. It's polished, it shines, it's dark brown, almost black in color. And at the far side of the wooden table sits a voluptuous man dressed in gold and black, jet black velvet. He is probably have a weight around 150 or even 200 kilos. And he's sweating. There are some valas, some shy valas running around, serving him cake and tea. Shy. You know this man. This is Al-Valim, the crime lord. On his right side, a captain of a ship called the Red Moon. His name is Farouq. On his left side, a new member of the crew to the Red Moon, a pilot, Carlo Salah.
Gentlemen, Farouq, captain of the Red Moon, Carlo Salah, pilot, newly recruited to the Red Moon. This is time for you to get to know each other. You will be flying together for the coming cycle, perhaps even more.
He's sweating a lot. It's not so hot in here, but he's sweating and he's waving at the Jungevall as would bring him more water, more wine, more cake.
Farouq, your pilot, the last one didn't make it, right?
He smiles. Even if he's look a bit of a toad, he got a smile of a wild animal, almost a Nekatra.
Farouq, please present yourself for this young man.
But of course, I turn to the young pilot at his side, bow my head in respect and say, "Welcome aboard the Red Moon. My name is Farouq Al-Jabur, and you can call me Captain if you like."
I lean back a little in my seat, before then getting out and returning a surprisingly reasonable bow myself to the captain. Perhaps a little clumsily, but still more than most people would know of whatever station you think I may be.
Always nice to see a good face. I trust Al-Walim has told you what it means to fly with the Red Moon.
I smile and nod. Certainly, Captain. Pleasure to meet you. Looking forward to flying with such an esteemed gentleman as my captain. Yes, I'm aware of what we'll be doing. That's fine with me. After all, I've got the credentials to give you something that I think your previous pilot didn't have.
Well,
He was a bit soft, wasn't he, Farouq?
let's say his heart wasn't quite in it the way we would like to.
Yes, always a problem. Don't worry. My heart's wherever you tell me it needs to be, especially if I'm paid. Although, money's not a big thing, really.
So it's not. For Al-Walim, it's all wine, Walla.
A Chaiwala, around 15 years old, ran towards the crime lord, serving him the best wine from the Kuan archipelago.
So run along now. And serve my guest, infidel.
I sit back down at the table and eagerly await the wine. I look to the captain and say, "You were much of a drinker, Captain?"
All things in moderation, of course. So, young pilot, what can you tell me about yourself?
Well, I confess there's not much to tell, Captain. You've read the file, no?
Yes, I have, but still, it's nice to hear it from your own lips. After all, this is us getting to know each other.
I look a little put out, but I give a shrug and respond. Yes, well, fair enough. The file does mention most things of importance, but I suppose if that's not enough for you. Let's see. 3 leagues my background. Born on a trade vessel. My father's vessel. I had siblings. We made trade runs, situated mainly on Kua, but then he thought it better if I did most of my education on Coriolis. That's where I spent most of my youth. And then, from there, I just did whatever I was told. And it was only until very recently, where of course he passed away, that, well, the family business all fell apart. My siblings are making their own way in life, and so am I.
The young boy serves you almost clear liquid, but with a stain of purple concealed in this clear liquid.
Here you got your ambrosia. Ha ha ha. Drink, drink. Salute.
Ambrosia. My lord, you spoil me.
Only the best. Only the best for my new pilot. And the silver patois Farouq from Dabaran. I think you will do well together.
I take a...
But one thing you should know, young pilot. You should never try to cross Al-Valim. That will cost you dearly. Isn't that right, Farouq?
I think for non-loyalty, no price is too high.
Loyalty is all after beer. Ha ha ha. But let's not talk that stupid tongue. Let's drink. Let's celebrate. For the red moon, there's a new moon rises. Right? Ha ha ha.
Ah, but of course. And I take a sip of the ambrosia. It's not a very good ambrosia as far as I'm concerned. I've had far better, but of course, let's not let that be known. I smile. What wonderful taste you have, our him. Truly I am blessed.
Ha ha ha. Yes, you are, boy. Yes, you are.
I look to Farouq, and I say, as I take a sip again, so tell me, Captain, how long have you been in the business?
Well, I've had the pleasure of working with Al-Walim for about a year now. And, well, the business has been on and off for a while as well before that, so I try to make ends meet the way I can, of course.
How exactly do you do that? No offence meant, but you, have a very, dare I say, refined look to you, Captain. You don't look as if you've made your living beating up people, or, you know, breaking legs and all that sort of thing.
Well, I started out that way, maybe, but the icons led my destiny on a different path, and I have worked as a courtesan a few years ago. But I chose to leave that business behind, and now I'm captain of the Red Moon.
Haven't you heard, Carlo? Farouq is one of the greatest sword dancers and sword swallowers in the Kua system. Isn't that right, Farouq?
You embarrass me, Al-Walim. Your praise is too much, of course, but I have been known to swallow a sword or two in my days, yes. I smile.
I smirk and laugh, taking another sip of the ambrosia. Captain, got a sense of humour on you. I like that. That's good. But, no, never mind. I'm not one to pry. After all, I do think to myself that, it's interesting that a courtesan like him would be in this business. He says he just left. That's very strange. But something I just think to myself. best not to start a first meeting with prying questions.
Ah, do you hear? The nightingale. It's time to me to leave. But I think that Farouq can show you the way to the Red Moon. Isn't that right, Captain?
It will be my pleasure.
The pleasure is all mine. So, have a good night. I know I will. Good night.
A most pleasant night to you, Al-Walim. May the icons watch over you.
He give you a almost invisible nod, and then he trying to stand up, and 4 or 5 Jungevall is running to aid him, and he's I'm not as agile as I was. Get my floater and I will go down to the Ocean Square. He is leaving you laughing and laughing into the night.
System QR, Coriolis Space Station, Coriolis Cycle 61. Segment The Dancer. First recording. Playback commencing.
You're in a garden, one of the gardens of Coriolis. You're within a group of people. They all love you. You have been their leader through the hard times of their first transgression with the sickness, or what you call it, the blessing. They are what's called the new mystics of the horizon, and they have all these strange kinds of, you would say, powers, but some of them still says curses. But you're here today. You have gathered some of them, around 5 of them, to celebrate the one called, in her normal life, called Aisha. But today she will take a new name, her mystic name, Aenid. These kinds of gatherings are held in secrecy. So it's in the middle of the night, in the Coriolian night, and you have paid 1 or 2 of the gods to stay out of this little ceremony that you have. You're sitting in a circle around a small pond. You can hear the nightingales sing. You can hear the grasshoppers. You can see the artificial night flies. The smell of incense is coming on. And some of the new mystic have started humming, singing out the 99 names of the icons in small words. They all look to you. It was you that collected and found all of this mystic. That's not entirely true, because you just looked for one. You looked for the one called Aisha. Actually, you have been working for quite some time for the Davak, the Dabaranian security forces. And one of your mission here on Coriolis was to infiltrate the Red Moon and to get close to Carlo and to find out what his background was all about and which Zenithian house he belongs to. It was going to be a simple plan. You have done it many times before for the Davak. You have used one sibling of the target to get close to the target. But this time it was different. Because the sibling, Aisha, was like you, a mystic. It all happened so fast. And in a couple of segments, this cult that was rising up around you, and you were in the center of it. They all looked to you for guidance. And now you're sitting here, quite confused. You're having a name day, giving out names for the new mystics. And you're no theologian. You have no background in religion. But they all look to you now. The humming gets louder. Some of your pupils looks to you for guidance and how you should lead this name day through.
Is Aisha the only one taking a new name this night?
Yes. She is the third of the group taking a new name. There are two more before her.
I raise one of my hands in a soothing motion to quiet them a bit.
The silence is spreading in the small garden.
Aisha, please step forward.
She rises from her lotus pose and walks towards you, smiling. You can see tears of joy running down her cheeks. Yes, Farouq, I'm here at your bidding.
I stretch out my hands and I take hers in mine and I hold them very softly but firmly. I say, please tell the gathering and the icons what name you have chosen for yourself on this, your new name day.
My brothers and sisters, today I will stop calling myself to you Aisha. I will start to call myself Aenid. From the Tabaran word of storm and refuge. And they're lowering their heads and they say, welcome to us, Aenid. You are most welcome. Together we will see through the storm and find refuge to all.
I kiss her on the forehead and I kiss both her cheeks. Sister Aenid, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. You are our light. You are our savior. She falls on her knees and kissing your sandal feet. You have been so good to us, Farouq. You are the one.
I fall to my knees as well and I take hold of her chin and lift her head up to meet my gaze. And I say, we are each other's lights. We are in this together and we are family.
Now and forever?
Now and forever. Until the icons reveals what fate they have for us.
I love you.
And I love you too, sister. And I kiss her again on the forehead and then on the lips.
And the humming grows louder, and the incense take you, as well as the opor and the red wine. And all that's left is blurring memories from Ainid's name day.
System QR. The Coriolis space station. Vessel, the Red Moon. Coriolis Cycle 61. Segment, the Dancer. Playback commencing.
You're sitting at the Red Moon. There's some noise in the background. You can hear the bulletin is sending out a message. Nothing has been heard from the colony. There's talk in the council that they will put together a rescue mission under the consortium, and a lot of the Free League's delegates are standing behind this. And the bulletin's fading out, and you're sitting in the cargo bay of the Red Moon. Pig is down, getting himself dirty while fixing the hyperdrive, or the hyper engine, and the astro regulator. You know that you probably should and go to the colony, but Al-Walim has sent you to pick up some cargo in the system, and you're a bit worried.
Well, I'm just at the cockpit, frowning a little to myself. Again, the whole mission seems too vague to me. The details of what we were supposed to be doing and who we're supposed to be meeting up in the air. And I'm not in the best mood, to be honest, but the captain has led us well so far. Despite thinking he has some secrets that I really would like to find out. I actually don't mind the man, most of the time.
Carlo? You know, you don't have to call me Captain all the time, you know that.
I know.
It's more, you know, kind of like an honorary title or something. I mean, you could just as well be Captain.
No. Too much command for me, Captain. No, come, it's just a fun nickname.
Yeah, I guess it's just every time I hear it, it's kind of... Yeah, Farouq is good as well, if you ask me.
All right, Farouq, I'll keep it in mind, but what can I say? You are the captain, and so far you've done a pretty good job. Not gonna lie, though, this latest mission is looking a little strange. I'm really starting to wonder why you put up with that Al-Walim. I mean, I knew he was an idiot the first time I met him, but I didn't quite realize he was also slightly mad as well.
He has illusions of grandeur, if you want to say that, but he has sent us some sweet deals. Even though, as you say, this one seems a bit vague, maybe? I don't know.
Well, all we know is to find cargo, and we're supposed to meet someone. We haven't even been given a name. I mean...
Hopefully Pig knows more. Usually he lets me in on stuff like this, but I guess it's a need-to-know basis this time.
Pig's too loyal. I think Pig needs to get a little spine. But, you know, I would tell that to their face, and I do.
Yeah. Well, Pig is Pig. And Pig is good to have around. Pig's a good friend, okay?
Hey, I like pig, believe it or not. I know I give them a hard time, but, they return it. What's their favourite saying again? He was an Ethian bastard. I can't say I'm not.
Yeah. Well, you grew up on Coriolis or Kua, no?
I frown ever so slightly. I always seem to whenever you ask about my past. But it's only a quick frown. Yes, I grew up on both, in a way, you could say. Born on Kua, way below the monolith in the less favourable parts. But my father had business assets on Coriolis, and that's where I did most of my life, as it were.
Yeah. I grew up on the streets of Dabaran. I was believe it or not, a street urchin.
I actually find that hard to believe. Dabran, you say?
Yeah. More or less an orphan, and, let me say I caught someone's eyes, and they helped me become who I became.
Yes. You never tell me, though, why you left that life. I mean, it seems like a pretty good life to me, better than this one. I'm here for the excitement, you know that, not the money. But you had the excitement. And the money.
Well, if you consider being someone's pet, then yes, excitement I had, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I was lacking excitement and mystery in my life.
Well, excitement and mystery are things that are good to have, Captain. But being a pet isn't so bad. After all, in a way, we're all someone's pet. But I do understand that sometimes it's nice to get out of the cage.
Yeah, and sometimes the choice is made for you, but that's for another day, I would say.
True. Oh well, hopefully this mission won't be too long, and then we can get on to something a little more fun. Like I said, Al-Wahim's missions lately have all been a little stale. We really need to do something further out. Go somewhere interesting, Somewhere with a little bit more nightlife, or a little bit of danger, but not too much danger, Don't want to run off into like a pirate system and just get shot. Although that could be fun, I guess.
Yeah, we could go to Salos.
I have heard of that place. What was...
Oh, it's the home of the priesthood of the Pariah. The home planet of those who follow the martyr.
Oh, I think I misunderstood. I thought it was somewhere else. I'm not really that interested in the religious stuff, Captain. You know that.
I know.
Not that I'm being disrespectful to the icons. Praise their name. But
Well, you Cenethians tend to go that way.
We do indeed. But what can I say? Sometimes I feel as long as they're not out to get me, I won't be out to get them either. I don't know, things are strange lately though. You remember that last time we were at Coriolis? Was it some people going on about something to do with the mystics? Sounds like a load of nonsense to me.
Yeah. Yes, well, Carlo, there are things out there. In the darkness between the stars, right?
I frown a little, taking a moment to look outside the cockpit, looking at the stars themselves. And I nod. I'm not a fool, Captain. I know that the stories of the mystics do have some credence. I've heard things. I just find it interesting that people on Coriolis are getting all worked up about it.
Well, I guess, it depends on who you listen to, right? I mean, who is the emissary, anyways?
Icons, if I know. Nah, it's probably a good thing we're away from the station for a while. I'm sure it will all be blown over by the time we actually get back after this mission.
The bulletin flashes.
This just in. The consortium has required the old line cruiser, the Gazalis, and the Legion will aid the consortium rescue mission with the battle cruiser Zafira. They will leave in 72 hours, and they are looking for volunteers to help them in this rescue mission on Toan. The gas mine, as we have reported earlier, has ceased all communication in the last couple of days. May the Icon watch over them, and good night.
I laugh a little as I see this bulletin and turn to Farouq. Volunteers? Who the hell would volunteer for something like that? That's insanity.
I guess we're volunteering, dear Carlo.
What do you mean?
Isn't this where we're heading?
We're going to get some cargo.
From?
Some contact we don't know the name of, but with somewhere in the system of...
Yeah.
No. I think you... I see where you're going with this. But no, that's lunacy, and I would tell him that to his face. No, we're not... The cargo we want isn't going to be somehow related to the bloody rescue mission rubbish.
Well, that's where we're heading.
Well, I can tell you this. I'm certainly not going to be getting on board any space stations if I don't need to be, especially cryosleep. We'll have to see if I can negotiate with this contact of ours.
End transmission. Decoding complete. Further analysis will be ready in approximately 1 week.
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we play the campaign Mercy of the Icons for Coriolis, which is published by Free League. Gamemaster was Adam Palmquist, and we were also joined by Jenny Jungevall. The music was created by AlphaZone and Sable Sun, and was used with permission from their label Cryochamber. Please check out cryochamber.bandcamp.com or their YouTube channel for more of their lovely dark ambient. We also used the official Coriolis soundtrack by Stars on a Black Sea. The sound effects come from the Syrinscape sci-fi player and was used with permission from Syrinscape. With its ease of use, you might want to try it for your gaming table. We would like to give massive thanks to our champions of the Red Moon: Martin Heuschober, Simon Cooper, David, Julia, Camilla, Bob Lange, Cameron, Antxon, Graham Barey, and Doug Thomson for their generous support. And would of course also like to thank all of our other patrons. Without your support, the show would not be possible. If you want to support our work, please check us out on Patreon. You can get access to bonus campaigns for Cult of Divinity Lost, Call of Cthulhu, and Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay there, as well as binge the rest of Last Voyage of the Ghazali and Emissary Lost. You can also get early and raw access to all of our recordings and hear your name read on the show as a champion of the Red Moon, as well as play some Cult with us. Most importantly, that support is what keeps the show going, so do check us out there. Thank you again for listening, and remember that the song leads us to the truth under a great winged shadow.